So, um, I got no life. That's how that's how pathetic I am right now. But I guess you all are guilty just the same because here I am and here you are. So, but I'm scrolling through social media and this man, I'm I'm like I'm almost positive. It's 50-50. You never know because everything that you see now is like 90% of the things you see on social media is kind of a skit. So, um, but there are some skits that you still might want to pay attention to because I guess it is sending some message. It depends on what kind of message you want to hear or what message you perceive. But the thing is that this man um was sitting down on his bench in the backyard, maybe, I assume, I don't know. And he was holding a wire spool, and miraculously his wife was recording it. That's why I call it a skit, because it's like you just so happen to record your man sitting down. But anyways, um it didn't feel organic. But anyways, so this man was explaining how um he bought this wire spool and how it was big, and now the wire spool is almost empty from years of usage. And it's been 40 years since he bought that wire spool. So, one, the man was trying to explain and open up his feelings on what was going on in his head, on how he felt. The wife, um, sort of disregarded it and thought that he was moping around because he was wearing his Jets hat, the New York Jets hat. And as he was trying to explain what he was feeling, the wife paid no mind to it. And then he was like, you know what? Forget it. As if like explaining reason and logic will be a waste of his time. As a man, and I'm sure 99% of other men would probably agree. So, um, then a few days later, his wife came on to apologize, and later on in the video, um, he explained what he was feeling, and that feeling that he was feeling at the time is how time and sentimental values could go by without realizing it. And that wire spool was um, a prime example of sentimental value. Now with men, um, we have an extremely hard time opening up, especially to other women, and most importantly, our significant others. I'm almost 35, and there's been more times that I can count where I try to explain my feelings, logic, and reasoning, and every turn that I try to explain how I feel, it gets dismissed, disregarded, shut down, what have you. So I don't say anything on how I'm feeling anymore because I know it's going to backfire one way or another, some way, shape, or form. Uh, um, when you ask a man what he's thinking, like 75% of the time, it's really nothing. A man is just there in a moment. But the other 25% of the time, when he is thinking about something, he's thinking about it. And he wants to share it, but he doesn't know who to share it with. I realize that over the time, you know, like the things that are on my mind can't be shared, so I share it on here. So there's always a record of what's on my mind, and if someone happens to want to talk about it, we could talk about it. If they feel the same way, or like if they're feeling the same way, they stumble upon the video. So um and then there's a therapist, but it's like, why would you pay a therapist to just smile and nod and say, so how does that make you feel? um like, how it makes you feel. Like, what the hell is a therapist going to do other than give you advice that might make things worse? But that's why they're there, I guess. um yeah, every time when I try to explain how I feel, you know um it's disregarded, or It's like it's like get over it. You know, there's better things to worry about, so to say. You know, and I have you know, random things that are sentimental to me, um, because to me it holds a special place in my heart, in my memory, because we can't rewind time, but we could try to savor that moment. There was a time, um, when I lived in Connecticut and I had my own place, and every movie theater, not movie theater, but like, well, like when I went to the movie theater and I saw a movie that I know was going to be a banger, I take the movie ticket and I put it on the wall. Um, if I take a trip that was memorable, I take the itinerary ticket and I put it on the wall. A pen that someone gave me that was life changing, I put it on the wall. There was a lot of things that I put on the wall. It was more like a life's collage. It told a story. Um, that's all gone now. But it definitely created memories. Um, Matter of fact, this hoodie right here, I had for about um, I want to say I bought this around 2000 and 2014, 2015. So that's almost 9 to 10 years ago. And it was at a Dick's Sporting Goods back when Dick's Sporting Goods was freaking awesome, before they became like a Walmart and stopped selling firearms in the outdoor section. I remember you, Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm talking to you. And um, I was brand new at a job in New Haven, and I was trying to have something that I could wear, and I don't know what happened to the previous hoodie, but I definitely needed another hoodie, so I bought that. And when I bought that hoodie, for some reason, I felt like it brought me luck, because a lot of good things were happening ever since I bought that hoodie, you know? So, so that's why I still have it, you know? And then there's a lot of sentimental things that anyone could have you know, that brings them joy, and you wonder why they keep it for so long, because it it just connects you. Um Here's another example, actually. Um This elephant um, was given to me when I was in the Navy. It's broken because the trunk went around to its head where the tip of the trunk was touching its head. That broke off. But a very good friend of mine named Barrett, John Barrett, gave me this, and when man, Thailand, oh God, ah, it was me, Barrett, Adderholt, and Stevenson. Fuck Stevenson. No one likes Stevenson. All right. But anyways, um, we left the ship and we went to this bar area. It was pretty fancy for like 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 in Pattaya, Thailand, or Pattaya, or whatever they call it. There's every bar is like rinse, wash, repeat. You have women that are dressing the skimpy outfits, trying to say, "Hey, drink at our bar, drink at our bar, drink at our bar." And we're like, no. And then there was this one bar or restaurant slash bar that was like, it looked it looked like it was put together. And there was no girls there that was like trying to hand out flyers or entice you to go to their bar and drink. So we went there. We was like, yeah, this is our bar now. So it was only four, it was four of us, Americans, and I guess the rest were locals. And then um the owner of the bar, catered to us. He was like, "Hey, whatever you need." So we didn't have um Thai currency. We had American currency. So we gave him a 20. His eyes lit up. So he just kept bringing drinks after drinks after drinks, and we kept getting messed up and messed up and messed up. And then um Barrett, he's from Philly, so he has that Philadelphia, swag. Like, so he went up to the owner, who was like, "Hey," so he took out like $700 and was just like, "Hey, this bar is ours now. So no one gets in or out until we say so." So he kind of put, like, this thing where, like most clubs do, you need to be on the list to get in. So we had the say so who gets in or doesn't get in. So the amount of money that Barrett gave him was pretty much like his monthly salary, probably. you know so he was okay for closing the establishment down for us. And where we sat on a balcony where it oversaw the beach, which I guess, now thinking back at it, it was a VIP area. But long story short, you know, we were heading back to the ship, and I guess he bought this, and you know, he said it was a symbol or a friendship. So um So I kept on to it ever since. And then there's this can right here. Um, it's dog food. When I was stressed out, I was a heavy smoker. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of ash. And I kept this can because it was for a dog that I bought. It was a Doberman. For the longest time that I could remember, I've always wanted a Doberman. I like all dogs, but in my personal opinion, I prefer big dogs because small dogs they're overprotective. Um, I've noticed that big dogs are afraid of smaller dogs. I don't know why. I don't know how, but they're afraid of smaller dogs. So it's not like a small dog can't protect you. A small dog can't. It could protect you, but as far as humans go, we are conditioned to understand that bigger is better. So having a bigger dog means someone would definitely not try their luck to rob your home or cause you harm while you're taking a walk on the street. And Xana, her name is Nutella now, or Tella for short. But when I had her before, I gave her away to a much better home in the loving family, that love that I couldn't provide, unfortunately. Um, they named her Tella for short. Um, but this was when I first bought Xana. Um, this was the first food that I bought her, and I bought her plenty of other cans, plenty of other food, but this was the first one, and I wanted to remember it, so I kept it. One sec. This toy belonged to Roe, belonged to Marilyn Monroe. Um, she was a Chihuahua. She is a Chihuahua, and the most beautiful, precious, precious dog I've ever come across. And um, admittedly, at first, I thought the dog hated me, but then me and the dog had a bond um that can't be broken. I mean, it was Nicole's dog. It was her dog. It was her service animal dog. Um, Even though it was her service animal dog, me and Ro created a bond. I don't know why. I don't know how, but we've grown to love each other, and I taught her some tricks, and she definitely became a little bit more obedient since I was training with her. And yeah, if you ask anyone else, or not if you ask anyone, but if anyone asks me why I still have this, even though it's not my dog, And even though, um, it belonged to someone else clearly, um, I would tell them that because this dog has my heart. And by me having this, I know that this dog would be a part of my life forever, even if I'm not a part of its life. So, or even if I'm not allowed back into its life. Then there's this. This belonged to Nicole, the owner and caretaker of Roe. Oh, that got on my eye. So, I love Nicole. I still do. I know she doesn't love me anymore. Even though we said that we would get over the past and try to move forward and see where things go. We were talking, and then all of a sudden she stopped messaging me back. For what reasons, I don't know, but I wanted something to still remember her by, because even though we had our ups and downs, being with her is still a learning lesson. So it's always a learning lesson, and having these two items together shows that, there is some love, even though there's still hatred around the world that would eventually influence you to turn on one another. What I'm trying to say is that memories definitely are sentimental to men. We just don't like to explain why they're sentimental, because when we try, it's disregarded. We get interrupted. When I'm trying to, like right now, I'm talking, I'm saying what's on my mind. I have no one else here to interrupt me and tell me how I should feel, or interrupt me and tell me how they're feeling, even though I let them talk and say what's on their mind, but they won't allow me to say what's on my mind. That's what men go through. This is a half-hour long video, and it wasn't meant to be this long, but I kind of went on a tangent there. But what I'm trying to say is that men don't always have this hard exterior. We're pretty soft. It's just that women don't understand or want to acknowledge that we're soft and that we have emotions. You just keep our emotions down. So I want to love, but I've been betrayed and lied to so many times that it's hard to love. I want to go back to school, but seeing all these people going into debt for a job that they may or may not get, which I might have to do it anyway, because taking the easy way out is not working out so well. So I don't trust a lot of things, but here we are.